Hi guys, welcome back to Candy Machine Studios. Today we're going to be doing day 3 of 20 days of candy. We're going to be doing the 5 senses of chocolate. So we're going to be using the 5 senses to identify the difference between white, dark, and milk chocolate. We're going to be using, of course you guys know, my favorite chocolate brand, Hershey. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so before I go into doing the 5 senses with each chocolate bar to tell the difference, it's important to tell you about the process of making chocolate, because these 3 chocolate bars, even though they're very different looking and the properties are very different, they have the same process of being made. So cocoa comes from cocoa bean. From the bean are extracted nibs. These nibs are what's being really finely crushed to make cocoa powder. The cocoa powder is mixed in with sugar during the refining process. That way you get that sweet taste that we know as chocolate. Other than that, you would literally just get a really bittery, fruity taste. Once they have refined the cocoa powder and they have added the sugar into it and have completely grinded it up, at this point, it's a very silky material that all they have to do is, whether they add milk or don't add the milk, it can decide whether it's dark chocolate or milk chocolate. Now with the white chocolate, it's a little different because of the way that they go at extracting the cocoa from the seed. So with white chocolate, what they use is they highly pressurize the nibs. So instead of them crushing the bean, they're actually extracting all the fat and juices from the nib, and they're using that to make the chocolate. So at the end, you end up with like a really lightly brown colored oil. That's how you make white chocolate. And that's all just a really basic explanation, just so you guys understand that the difference in these isn't the process of making it, it's just the ingredients. So you'll see how that affects the 5 senses in each chocolate. Now, for those of you that don't know the 5 senses off the top of your head, don't worry, we got you. We're gonna list them out right here. So let's start using all those to identify these chocolates. So starting out with vision, with the dark chocolate, right off the bat, we can tell that it's very dark. That comes from the lack of milk and the concentration of cocoa that is in the bar. So what you're looking at is just really refined cocoa powder with a lot of sugar added. The sugar is necessary for you to get that sweet taste that you love from chocolate. If you literally just went out and got a cocoa bean and took a bite from the nib, it would not be the chocolate that you think you know. Moving on to our milk chocolate, visually we can tell that we've had very hot days here in Texas. The chocolate bars don't make it home. 5-minute drive from the store. But other than that, we can also tell that the color is a lot lighter than the dark chocolate. Comes from the milk, of course. Same sugar, same everything, just the milk is different, which makes it a lot more sweet and less bitter to the taste. It's the chocolate that we all love on every single thing that we eat. And here we have the white chocolate. So the white chocolate is obviously not even close to the color of the other bars. And that comes from what I told y'all. Instead of crushing up the cocoa beans, they extract the fat from the nib. So some people do debate. They say that white chocolate isn't actually chocolate. The oil that is used from the cocoa bean is about 50% cocoa. So it would be considered a chocolate ingredient. So next on the list of senses is hearing. So even though chocolate doesn't sing or talk, it does make noise, and they each make very different noises because of the ingredients that they have. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So milk chocolate is gonna have, when I'm talking about sound, I mean the snap of the chocolate. So dark chocolate is gonna be the loudest one out of all 3 of them. Reason being is because also during the process of making, each chocolate bar is tempered. What that means is they go through a process of the chocolate being shaken, so there's no air bubbles in it, first of all. And second of all, so that way it condenses to a nice chocolate bar and it makes that snapping sound that we all hear whenever we snap a good chocolate bar when it's not melted. I'm gonna show you what that is with the dark chocolate bar. You can hear it. It's a much louder snap than it would be in the milk chocolate bar. We can send it right here. No snap at all. And then the white chocolate is the one that has literally zero snap to it because it's cocoa butter. So it has no snap to it at all. You can hear a snap from the milk chocolate and from the white chocolate as well. The difference with those snaps, if you like play back the video, you can hear how it's the dark chocolate is a quick snap. The other two is like a slower type of snap because one the milk and then the other one the butter. So now we move on to smell. We go start with the chocolate, dark chocolate. Just take a whiff. Okay. So if you smelled your chocolate bar, you can smell that fruity scent that it has. That is straight cocoa powder. If you were to smell a cocoa nib, this is the closest thing that it would smell like. If we move on to the milk chocolate bar, you can smell that it does have that similar fruity smell, but it's a lot lighter. So you'll smell it a lot more with the dark chocolate than with the milk chocolate. If we move on to the white chocolate, this one doesn't even smell like cocoa. So that, I mean, I'm sure that's why some people would be like, well, it's not really chocolate because it doesn't have that fruity scent that we do associate with pure chocolate. It smells a lot more like a confectionate than it would of chocolate. Okay, so now we're on to the most favorite sense of all, taste. So we start off with the dark chocolate. So dark chocolate is interesting. If it gets too high in percentage, the more of that taste that you'll get. That fruity, unique taste, like that's the closest to the actual chocolate that you can get. So if we go ahead and we try the milk chocolate. So it's easy to tell why a lot of people rather have milk chocolate than dark chocolate. I would say that the dark chocolate has a more fruity taste than candy taste. Sweet tooth that you would be looking for if you were consuming chocolate. So if we go on to the white one, my favorite one. So even the texture in your mouth, it's a little closer to the dark chocolate because it's not creamy. It's more pasty, but you can definitely tell that it's more more oily than the regular chocolate. Because whenever you put it, you like even taste it, put it in your mouth, you can, it melts differently than dark chocolate or milk chocolate does in your mouth, definitely. And now for the last of the 5 senses, we're gonna go into touch. So just grab your chocolate bar and just touch it. Dark chocolate one is pretty sturdy. It seems pretty hard. It's pretty tough. Milk chocolate. Oh, wait. So look, you can bend it and it won't snap necessarily. So it has a lot more flexibility with this chocolate. With the dark chocolate, as soon as I started bending it, it won't bend, but if I try bending it, it just break. White chocolate tastes it feels more pasty. Does it bend? It bends a little tiny bit. I don't know if you can tell right here. See how it kind of bends? It doesn't snap all the way, but it does bend. So I guess it does have that property. It's a little more flexible than the dark chocolate. Because the dark chocolate, it breaks as soon as you bend it. So guys, those are the 5 senses of chocolate. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got your own chocolate bars and you try it out yourself. That way you can get a little more familiar with the chocolate that you eat every day. Sometimes it's hard not to eat the chocolate bar right out of the wrapper. But we gotta study sometimes before we get to enjoy. Stay safe, guys. Stay healthy, and join us tomorrow for day 4. Bye.